Okay, day number 2 here is a lot of typing in data in your calculator and just practicing getting the mean and standard deviation out of it and kind of interpreting what it means. So just to review, to get to the list 1, list 2, this kind of view, you're going to have to hit the stats button followed by, here we go, let's get this going. You're going to have to hit the stats button on your calculator, and then it's number 1, and then it's edit. Hit enter, that should bring you to that list. Do the same thing, hit stats 1, edit, but now you're going to have to arrow over once when the data is in there and you get to the calc. Hit 1 for one var stats. Okay, there we go. And then you might have to hit enter a couple times, and you'll see the answers to what you're looking for. Now, if you're all done with that, there is ways to clear out your calculator without really clearing the whole calculator. You can go to second and then the plus. That should bring you to your memory. Hit number 4. I believe it's the abbreviation clear all list. If it's not something like that, when you bring that up, hit enter, it's gonna say, D, it's gonna say done. That means your L1 got completely wiped out. So you can come down and you can put new sets of data. So the Maui News gave the following costs of dollars per day for a random sample of condiments located throughout the island of Maui. Compute the mean and standard deviation. So you're gonna do this with your calculator. Remember, X bar is what it spits out, but we'll use that as our new. I'm just going to write down what the answers are. You hopefully can pause the video, type in the numbers in your calculator, and you can kind of go from there. This is what I got for the mean and standard deviation. Now, our mean is 136. Our standard deviation is 130. That's 130 is a pretty big number considering that most of our numbers here are kind of in the 80s and 90s and whatnot. So what that means is the data is very spread out. Okay. And I kind of knew that because look, all of a sudden I got this really big group of set of about 4 numbers that are like uber big that might have been an outlier. Okay, so go ahead, go back to second plus, number 4, clear all lists. Hit enter, should say done. Now go back to L1, and I want you to find the mean and standard deviation of this set of data. It's the trading post of Grand Mesa sells spinners, a type of fishing lure. However, the store only has a limited section of spinners. The price in dollars are as follows: $2.50, $1.95, and so on. So again, pause the video, get that data set in, and I'm going to put down the answers. Okay, so now we're talking $2.14, the standard deviation of 0.217, so about 22 cents. I would say that they're like closer together. Closer together compared to, like, say, other values, because 20 cents versus like $2. I mean, it's kind of a small number, but I mean, it could be really small if they were really close together. But the data set looks fairly closely about $2-ish. So they're all hovering around that average. So with your standard deviation, it's going to be pretty small. Okay, again, same thing with your example number 3. Go to one var stat or second plus. By the way, that's the memory menu. Go down to 4, clear all lists, hit enter. Okay, go back and let's type these into L1. They are the U.S. Weather Bureau has provided the following information about total annual reported tornadoes in the United States for the years 1956 to 1975. Okay, pause the video again, put that in your calculator, see if it spits out X bar is. Okay. So I know it's 220, which is a big number, but 703 is pretty big average. So I would say that the data is pretty close together. Now there is another number that you could possibly use to get this, but we'll talk about that a little bit later in class, maybe just a little extension problem. But that is what mean and standard deviation does for you and how to read that.